Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in. Today, we are going to go back to our previous video where I covered Celsius token and basic attention token. Essentially, what I want to do is I want to cover, either tokens that I'm in, coins that I've invested in already, like Celsius token, or tokens that I'm, you know, very considering to buy, like basic attention token or Chainlink. Chainlink was hard because I totally missed the boat on that. However, um, I'll do my best to keep up succinct updates with these tokens and their current price action. Before we jump into those two, Celsius and basic attention token, let us look at the Bitcoin chart. I would say it's always important to, whenever you're making your decisions with altcoins, to also be aware of what Bitcoin is doing. As we've known, Bitcoin on this last four week run up has gained about like 30-ish, 20-ish%, and we're about, after this recent drop, like about maybe 20, 24% above the 20 weekly moving average. And because of that, altcoins suffered immensely. Every altcoin imaginable is down the past 4 weeks, and you could really see that with the Bitcoin dominance chart. Because Bitcoin has been super bullish and rising in price, dominance has been going up, which means that altcoins are not keeping up with Bitcoin. Um, and so the past few weeks, we have been seeing this increase in dominance in Bitcoin. However, this past day, earlier today, Bitcoin did retrace. Um, if I bring it up to the daily, we actually reached the 14,000 mark, just a little bit above, about 14,100 on Bitstamp. However, ever since we've been retracing, so we're down like 2% for the day currently. There's still a lot of the day left, so that could change. But when we do take it from the wick, we're about maybe like 4.5%. Earlier today, it was at the bottom of the link 6% down in the past 3 days. However, I would argue we're basically at the price levels we were October 30th and 29th. So not much of a retracement in my view. It's not like we dropped down to 12,000. It's not like we dropped down to the 20-week moving average yet. Things are still quote unquote bullish. And if anything, this could be a setup for Bitcoin to start moving sideways like this. And that would be immensely great for the two tokens that I'm talking about, Celsius and Basic Attention Token, because when we look into those coins after, you'll see how they benefit from a sideways moving Bitcoin. However, with Bitcoin, nothing has immensely changed. Yeah, we're down like five. You could even say 5% for the past few days and the beginning of the week. However, when you look at the macro scale, it's just a blip on the radar. It doesn't even really show. You more so see this extreme run up from like 11,100 to 14,000 essentially. So Bitcoin's still bullish, but depending on the how bullish really depends on altcoins, on how altcoins will fare. So let's go to Celsius. For some reason, my drawings on Celsius disappeared, so I did have to like redraw them, but I did so with the best of my ability. So what we see here is in our past talk, we saw that Celsius does have this exponential curve up. It always seems that whenever Celsius token gets very bullish, it eventually retraces back to this curve, right? Like that, run up, and then retraces back down to the curve, and it kind of rides it up on the curve for a bit, and then shoots back up, retraces, and this is still playing out, but we'll see. But if the principles stay the same, then we're going to retrace back to the curve. We might take longer in this curve, to reaccumulate and then shoot back up. Um, Interestingly enough, it looks like Celsius token for the past few days has been gaining value against Bitcoin. And we're up on this top or falling wedge here. And I wouldn't say this is yet a confirmed falling wedge. Not like how we saw with this, where it was very much more clear. We're getting wicks to this bottom line. However, we haven't had candles touch it yet. Like the candle body. And it seems like we pushed past and now we're retracing. We'll see if the bleeding stops here and we can continue rising up, or if this is basically just a rejection from that and we're going to move back down. So we'll definitely see. Considering today's price action with Bitcoin and if you look at the other altcoins in the space, you'll see that everything's in the red, and it's very hard to see Celsius continue its move up. I suspect that we're going to come back into this area here and fall more to the curve, but we'll see. It's definitely hard, but I'm still bullish on Celsius. I still hold my positions. I haven't sold a lot of it yet. If you are someone who is looking into buying Celsius, and this is a something that I should have mentioned in my previous video, but it, I don't know if Celsius might be a good buy at these levels. For in one perspective, Celsius has been on this amazing run. It looks like it's not going to stop. To one person, it's, well, I want to get on that train. At the same point, though, Celsius to the wick, we have gone up almost 1,000% to the top wick from its all-time high, and currently right now we're up 675%. And I haven't bought any, also, mind you, up at these levels. I accumulated Celsius here and here, basically. So I am very much have an amazing cushion against Celsius, unless Celsius for some reason just goes straight down. So it's hard for me to really give clarity and advice, even if Celsius gets to this curve here, to say it's a good buy, because it's way over my average buy-in price. However, for someone who has not yet bought into Celsius, I would say probably wait until if it gets into this curve here, and if it really starts to accumulate. You can start buying your positions here if you'd like, but just know that the risk is way higher when you're buying at this range compared to where I was buying in hindsight. So it's definitely a wait and see kind of project. I'm not going to tell you to buy or sell Celsius. If you already hold your positions, I would say if you already hold your positions, I would say, hold, unless you believe that the risk is too high at this point, in which case you should reshuffle your portfolio to lower your risk. Because although Celsius is doing great, it's a small market cap coin. It's only in the top 50, and it's in the lower part of the top 50. It's still it's still a risky coin to hold in comparison to, say, like Ethereum, despite Celsius really outpacing Ethereum and Bitcoin in the most of the part of 2020. Anyway, let's move to basic attention token. So again, I had to redraw my lines for basic attention token because for some reason it disappeared. But I got them to around the same levels, roughly the same levels that I drew them last time. And last time we were talking about basic attention token, we were writing on this line, and a little more than a week has passed, so we now have another weekly candle printed, and we dropped 16%, and we are now in this channel here that I drew, and we're basically at the prices of December 2017. Now, one perspective, this is one of our conditions were met. That basic attention token essentially is in the buying range. One thing to note though, for some people who might say that you would, in order for basic attention token to make a move, we're going to have to wait until Bitcoin gets to its all-time high. Um, Essentially, the issue is price history starts at November 2017, um, which basically, when we're looking at Bitcoin, November 2017 was essentially at the top of Bitcoin. So we're missing we're not going to find it anywhere because basic attention token didn't exist at the time. But essentially, we're missing price history from uh, when Bitcoin was just about to reach its previous all-time high to its all-time high, to the new all-time high. We're missing that price history. So it's really just almost a flip of a coin to know what basic attention token is going to do from now until Bitcoin's all-time high. It can it can go lower, but I doubt that these prices are too low. In my opinion, we might actually just move sideways. We could have big pumps. We can have pretty good pumps like what we saw here, um, and then retrace back down when Bitcoin gets really bullish and continue that pattern until Bitcoin gets to its all-time high and then shoots up. One thing to notice though, basic attention token's all-time high against Bitcoin was not during the 2018 altcoin run after Bitcoin hit its peak, like Ethereum or what have you. It was actually in 2019. And when we look at, well, let's just get the dates. So we're looking from February to essentially April of 2019. Let's find out what was Bitcoin doing around that time. Bitcoin was just finally capitulated to like $3,000, $4,000, and has found a bottom and then started slowly moving up, got bullish, and then started moving sideways for a bit. That's very interesting. You don't see many altcoins really moving. Um, um, you don't really see altcoins doing something so like independently when you're looking at like in conjunction with Bitcoin. So it's quite interesting to see. So that could be another argument to make. Well, when Bitcoin is slowly moving bullish, and then moving sideways, we potentially might see basic attention token move up quicker than we expect. However, that's a gamble that someone that you would need to make essentially, because we simply don't know. Regardless, I still think I am considering getting a position. I already bought a position in Uniswap, which is another extremely risky coin, simply because there's no price history. So um, now we're talking about how much risk I'm willing to take. This might be a little too much risk for me to take. Regardless, even though we're at a very good price at basic attention token, um, the risk is a little too big for my appetite, so to speak. But if you're looking to um, find altcoin positions that you want to increase your risk, like say like you've been only holding Bitcoin and Ethereum, and now you're looking for some mid cap altcoins to increase your risk and thus increase your potential ROI. Basic attention token might be one to consider. Simply because whenever we've been in this channel, we're in the half part of that channel essentially, where the lower channel part of it is at 1100 sats. This might be a good start to open up a position and then start dollar cost averaging your way down to the bottom of this channel here, and then that'll be your position. Much like my theory with Uniswap. If I bring it back here, oh, my lines are gone again. Jesus. Okay. Essentially, what I did was I opened up a position around 17,000 sats, and I said that I was prepared to ride this thing down all the way to 90% from the wick top. And so I said like, look, I'm making buy levels the way down, And so that's essentially what I'm doing up until 90%. If it goes up after this, like what it kind of looked like the day after I bought, or 2 days after I bought, we got a green candle and it looks. I was like, oh wow, it's a green candle. We might be turning this around, but who knows? I mean, like we got two green candles here that made up like 20% gain, with a potential of a reversal, but we continue to go down. So it's anyone's guess. But that could be a play for uh, basic attention token for you guys, where this could be a good entry point for you, and then you start dollar cost averaging your way down, and then while it's in this area down here, then think about your sell targets. Um, I wouldn't necessarily recommend waiting for up here. For all we know, it doesn't come back up here ever again. But you can essentially, make your sell targets like here, then like here essentially, um, here, and then you can have one, two, three, four, like five sell targets, for example, two of which are going to be very much at the top. For like, and especially for here is like your Hail Mary essentially. And that could be your trading strategy for basic attention token, which be a very sound one, I think, in my opinion. So that's really all I wanted to talk to you about today. We're finally in the trading channel of in basic attention token, so this may be one to consider opening up a position. If you already have a position with basic attention token, look at where your average buy-in is. This still might be a good time, like a good opportunity to begin averaging down your position. But if you like the video, hit the like button down below. If you really like the video, hit subscribe. I'll see y'all next time. Take care.